Before we delve into the rest of the video, I find it may be prudent for me to reintroduce myself as I enter into this new era of my life. So hi, my name is Abby. I recently just graduated from LLB at University College London, and I'm currently doing the PCLL at Hong Kong U. This part is just going to be a quick explanation of what PCLL is. So if you are already a law person, you know what PCLL is, just skip ahead to the video. If you're like one of my non-law friends and you're wondering what the hell I'm doing with my life, this is what I'm doing. So the PCLL stands for Postgraduate Certificate in Laws. It's basically the exact same concept as the UK's LPC or SQE. If you don't know what that is, it's basically just a method of qualifying and studying for the bar in Hong Kong. PCLL is basically a requisite if you want to qualify as a solicitor in Hong Kong. The path to qualify is exactly the same as the UK. You first have to have a qualifying law degree, and if you're coming back to Hong Kong from overseas, you have to take like 6 conversion exams to make sure you are eligible for PCLL admission. Then you go into the PCLL, you pass, then you have to train under a firm under a training contract for 2 years, and then you are admitted as a solicitor in Hong Kong. So when I was still an undergrad, I think my biggest query was what exactly is the difference of learning law at LB or in law school versus PCLL. And in a nutshell, I think in law school you learn a lot of your legal knowledge based on theory and concepts, and you are encouraged to sort of debate or think about whether those theory or concepts make sense. Whereas in PCLL, it's a lot more building on your already existing legal knowledge and using that to gain practical or procedural knowledge. So to illustrate this, everyone has to learn tort. In law school, you learn about the duty of care, you learn about breach, causation, damages, basically how you establish a action of tort against someone. In PCLL, they already assume that you know all this, and instead, when you are learning something in the context of tort, you're learning how you bring an action against someone. So you learn what's the procedure of issuing a writ, how you draft a summons, and the general procedure of like the trial or summoning someone to court. Similarly, for criminal law, you learn about mens rea, you learn about actus reus, the basics. You learn about the elements of specific offenses, and I think you're really encouraged to like sort of decipher whether an element is supposed to constitute that offense and what that element means. So that kind of entails questioning what consent means in terms of a sexual offense or questioning what causation means. Whereas in PCLL, you are less focused on the conceptual parts of criminal law, and it's much more about the trial process, how you get bail for your client, sentencing, how you appeal a conviction or sentence for your client. Another example is company law. So I remember last year in company law, I wrote an essay about why the duty of disclosure of the director's material interest is not feasible or useful, because basically every director of a big company will probably have conflicting interests. And they all know this, and the duty of disclosure does nothing to prevent the breaches of fiduciary duty. Whereas in PCLL, you just don't examine the merits of a statute or a policy. Instead, you're asked like what's the process of selling shares, how you appoint or remove directors, or what other practical considerations or stamp duty tax that you have to apply on a given scenario within a corporate transaction. Anyway, I hope that was useful for you. If not, I'm sorry, but here's our regular scheduled programming. Enjoy! It is now 1:30 p.m. I woke up around an hour ago to finish up my CCT small group submission for Monday. That was due at 1 p.m. That was supposed to be done last night, but after I came back from class yesterday, I did my nails and I deep cleaned the entire house. And after that, I was exhausted. I've decided to kind of start this vlog on a Sunday because I think Sunday is the day where I kind of like prepare for the week, and also it allows me time to kind of like talk to the camera, because once tomorrow morning starts, I will have zero energy to wake up early and explain all that I'm doing. So tonight, I'm supposed to have another submission deadline for my property transactions small group, but my tutor has so kindly waived that submission deadline, which is good, but I still want to prepare for that tutorial as if the deadline is still there. So that's the main goal for today. Oh my god, PT1 is so boring.
One day I will be a designer where people come for my style.
Exactly.
Like, I feel like I don't talk to my friends enough about these negative things.
Yeah. It's like kind of almost an ego thing, right? You don't want other people to realize you're struggling so much. Okay, it is just past midnight. Just made it to the supposed deadline that I was supposed to have, and I finally finished my PT1 homework. This SG work genuinely was not difficult, and it really did not need to take me the entire afternoon. I just have very bad focus span when the stakes are not urgent and the stakes are not high. But here comes the part of why I wanted to film on a Sunday, because every Sunday I basically map out my schedule for the week and kind of determine my to-do list for the entire week. So this is my schedule for this week. Comparative to the last 2 weeks that I've had, this is manageable. October was rough, guys. I don't have a set schedule, so every week my lectures are different, every week my small groups are different. This is also the time where I kind of like go through all the SG materials and the LG materials, just get a gauge on the workload so I know when I should finish something by. And here goes my week. I actually have way more backlog than this list entails, but this is the bare minimum of what I need to finish every day. I am going to regret this so much tomorrow morning when I wake up for class. But it is now 3:30 a.m. I started and finished editing my grad vlog in less than 2 hours. That is a record. I don't think I've ever finished editing a video that quickly. So we are off to a really strong Monday start. First, I was really early to class today because I think it's reading week for the undergrad, so campus was pretty empty, meaning that there was no line for the lifts, and that I was able to focus all throughout class today. And class actually ended a whole 45 minutes early today. I am now back home for lunch. My next class is at 3, so I do have like more than 3 hours to kill.
2 hours later.
Took a nap. Okay, 1 hour to go until class. We should make lunch. Normally I take the MTR to school and walk back, and today I decided to buy myself some fresh flowers. I don't know why. I think the flowers in Hong Kong are not as fresh as the ones I used to buy. Hello! Sorry, I bumped into my batchmate. Anyway, I was saying that I don't think the flowers in Hong Kong are as fresh as the ones I used to buy in the UK.
Two to tango, but it takes 3 to solve a murder of an ill.
So today I mainly worked on going through a lecture outline and then working a bit for my criminal litigation SG on Wednesday. Again, my attention span is not very good when the stakes are not urgent and the stakes are not high. So work today has been a bit slow. I wasn't really pushing for any deadline, but we're still kind of on track for what I had planned to finish the bare minimum of today. Now like 2-ish, definitely procrastinated way more than I should have. So I'm gonna go to bed and I will see you tomorrow. I would say good morning, but if it was a good morning, I wouldn't have lost my contacts. I swear I put it in my eye, but now I can't find it. This hasn't happened to me in a long time. I'm so annoyed.
咪我同我哋嗰陣時嘅3個禮拜差唔多咯，又係翻6放1咯，仲要冇咁超咯。
It's now 7:30. Still have one more thing to do for Crim Lit tomorrow. Có 2餸飯，一個同埋肉餅。哎呦〜 this looks bad. This is Leung Song Fan. I don't know if it's like a staple of Hong Kong cuisine, but it's basically rice and then you can choose 2 to 3 side dishes to put on top of it. I've never seen this anywhere else except in Hong Kong, so maybe it's like a very like Hong Kong thing. Today I chose meatloaf and cauliflower. I don't have a rice cooker yet, so it's been a while since I ate rice. My textbooks have also arrived. I ordered these textbooks because last week when I was doing a past paper for CCP, low-key had a little mentee bee about how behind I am. I felt like I was not doing good enough. Anyway, like I was saying, I felt like this year was the first time where I felt this strong sense of imposter syndrome, almost to the point where it was like so debilitating. I was having a really hard time adapting to a new environment. It felt like everyone around me was so much smarter than I was. Throughout uni, I did not have a lot of content hours, A, because COVID, and then B, when we got back to normal times, it was already like year 3 and I had chosen classes that didn't have that much workload or only needed coursework. So I wasn't really used to the increased contact hours where I would have 5 hours of class a day. Maybe I've been carried through all these years by sheer cockiness, right? Who knew? But this is like genuinely the first year where I feel so out of my element and so dumb. This is especially exacerbated by the fact that PCLL last year in Hong Kong, you only had like a 50% pass rate, which is not good. But I'm trying to get myself into a new mentality. 平常心咁對待. All 21 years where I've been in school, never failed an exam, and this year is not going to be any different. So this is the pep talk that I'm trying to give myself every day. That is the long backstory of why I ordered textbooks. But now I have textbooks. Good morning. It is around like 12:30. I may have skipped my 9:30 criminal litigation lecture today because I just could not will myself to get out of bed this morning. Getting lunch with Sherry now, so I'm heading to the Hong Kong U Med campus. Crim Lit at 4 to 6. And afterwards, I'm getting a quick dinner with a friend. Then we're gonna come back tonight, and then we are going to work on our bail application. She's not interested. She's like, it's not bad. No. Good night. Hi, this is Harriet.
Pure passion. No talent.
为什么 no talent？ 这不用 talent 啊，
就是华人不好。
It is a gloomy, rainy day in Hong Kong today. My body woke me up like 15 minutes before my alarm sounded, but I do feel well rested. My day ends relatively early today, which I'm coming to like because it means I have more time to get on with other work after class. So yesterday I mainly finished catching up on the lecture that I missed yesterday morning. It did take me all day, which would not have happened if I just went to class. But the main thing is that I finished it. I did read over my facts for bail. I don't think bail is hard to do in any case, so it's just a matter of needing to get down to work. That's gonna be today's main goal. And then I have civil litigation from 9:30 to 11. Civil litigation from 9:30 to 11:30, and then I have civil litigation small group 12:45 to 2:45. Then I think afterwards I'm going to spend some time in the library to work on bail and then come back practice for bail.
I was just wondering if Joey could ask you a question about breastfeeding.
It is now 9:30. I finished dinner and I have zero motivation to do anything right now. Today's library session was quite productive. Like, I finished my notes and I finished my script for my bail application, but I still do have to like do some research and write out my script for the prosecution side tomorrow, because I'm doing both defendant and prosecution, and I also need to practice those. Bro, and like I was talking to some people after class, and some of them have already finished, if not started, our weekend assignments, and I have not even looked at them. Like, I haven't even finished tomorrow's things. I don't know how people are like getting things done 3-4 days in advance. I know some people who have already finished another assignment that we have due in a couple weeks. Like, how are you having the time to do that? Like, where are you getting the motivation? Where are you getting the energy? Could not be me. May it please the court, I appear on behalf of the defendant, Mr. May it please the court, I appear on behalf of the defendant, Mr. Ho Kwai Shu, to make an application for bail. Okay, fine, let's do the dishes.
Intimidate you into doing some things you may not want to do. I, for one, I'm not going to fall.
It is now 1 p.m. So today was originally a very packed day. I had my advocacy class this morning. Then on the schedule was also a briefing where they talked to us about what electives we could choose next year and kind of bring us through the syllabus for each of those electives. I ended up staying up a bit later last night because I was finishing up my bail stuff. And let me tell you, once upon a time, I used to be able to function on just a few hours of sleep. Now I cannot. Will I regret skipping when I take longer than is normal to rewatch the recordings of class and the briefings? Yes, but I really just needed to stay in today. 4 to 6:30 we have our bail application stuff, and then tonight I am getting dinner with my friend Kelly, which might not be the smartest idea because that means I'm out tonight and then I'm out tomorrow night. But I'm coming off a really busy period. I've had 3 consecutive busy weeks. I really need to drink. I never say this, like I'm not a drinker, I don't drink, but I really need to drink. I also want to spend some time cleaning the house before my parents come back tonight. So that's the amended agenda for today.
One day, you have to go to court. This is physically how you get to the magistrate courtroom. Oh, okay. They were in person at the time. And then eventually... So you can break down the way in which you're going to argue it. Again, there's no one single way to do it. But what has been mentioned hereby, as it was Mr. Justice Reyes.
May it please the court, I appear on behalf of the client's previous...
Sorry.
Yes.
So are you trying to say...
Currently...
Can you not try to read from your script?
Yes. More importantly, he is currently employed as a designer for a home... I just got home. So glad it didn't overrun. So glad that I'm finally free for a weekend. And it's an upcoming public holiday on Monday as well. So I have a 3-day weekend. My dinner reservation with Kelly is at 8:30. So I have over an hour to just like chill. Bail today was fine. It couldn't have been worse than what happened last Saturday. Because last Saturday our advocacy assignment was to do a 3-minute call-over hearing. And if you're wondering what a 3-minute call-over hearing is, boy oh boy, do I not have the explanation for you. No one knew what they were doing. I especially did not know what I was doing. So I got up there, I was talking, and then the judge was like, you know, if you say this in front of an actual judge, you will get yelled at. I was like, okay. And he was like, you identified all the wrong issues. I was like, okay. So I also bought some food for my parents in case they get hungry tonight when they come back. The place is already cleaned up. I seriously only have like this one cute summer dress that's more date appropriate. But anyway, all glammed. Let's go to dinner. It's too small. Do you have any rules? I have no idea. Jiggle. Does it not jiggle? Oh, it does jiggle. Like very violently. It's really good. A young lawyer learning English every day. I think so.
Okay. 生日快乐，祝你生日快乐，祝你生日快乐，祝你生日快乐。Happy birthday!
Hello, today is Sunday. Handed in my CCT homework like 3 hours late because I just did not have the motivation in me today to do any sort of work. I was so tired after last night because family dinners really take something out of you. Like, I was invited to a birthday party yesterday night as well. Like, I just did not have the capacity to socialize even more. Thank you so much for coming along with me this week and sticking it through this video. I hope you have a good rest of the week, rest of the day, wherever you are. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!